Hey guys, welcome back to my corner of the internet. And today, have you ever wondered how to paint blood angels? Well, I'm going through the process and I'm gonna make a series about it. Join me as I go along. Alright guys, after that intro is short, sweet, and simple and out of the way, today, this episode of, I would say their episodes, today I have a video for you guys about me painting blood angels. I'm going to go through my creative process and I'm going to try different methods until I sit down and find the perfect painting scheme for my blood angels. I've 3D printed 3 models. You've already seen, I think, 2 of them, and this is me finishing up the 3rd one. So today is a different kind of process from the last process when I painted blood angels. But with all that being said, I need to find a painting scheme. This is where it comes into play. Do I dry brush? Do I zenithal? So I'm going through and trying all the try to try. I'm going to go through and try different techniques, different methods until I settle on one. And there's so many ways and so many combinations to figuring out how to paint blood angels. But I need to sit down, come up with a plan, try it, see if I like it. If I like the way they look, continue on. And hopefully down the road, this will help me better my painting skills for any other models I decide to do. With all that introduction out of the way, let's get into the painting. process of painting Blood Angels, I did the same exact thing I did for the last two, because this is part of the set of 3 that I did together, but I didn't finish out the 3rd. With him, I primed black, and then I went through, created a zenithal to create some depth with the model and to give the red a more vibrant look when I painted over it with that. But then I went through with this model and took a Scarlet, Vallejo Scarlet, and did another zenithal on top of that to cover up the model to give it more of a bright red color. I didn't record any of this process because it goes in the other 2 videos, so if you want to see that process, you can go back in my other videos, and while you're at there, give them a like and all that. With that being out of the way, it gave it a real bright top red coat with an undertone of red that made it look very good. Then after doing all the stuff with the airbrush, I went back, or I broke out the Vallejo black and went through and base coated the areas that needed to be base coated. The weapon, base coated that black. Then you had the folds, the creases in between the legs, on the back of the legs, the straps on the back of his arms right there, and then the pouches and the belt. I base coated them black. Then after that, I grabbed a Vallejo gunmetal, added that to my palette, and then I went through and on all the black folds, I added a highlight kind of to it. I didn't paint the whole thing in gunmetal. I just added some gunmetal as if I was doing a sloppy highlight to the creases to give that more of a metal look underneath than actually just having it flat black, and it created some depth. And then with the gunmetal, I went over top of the black areas on the weapon to give that more of a metal look as well. And then after doing the gunmetal, I grabbed a silver, and then I went through and covered the silver on the silver parts of the weapon. So like the scope, the buttstock, and the barrel, the tips of the weapon, like the barrel and underneath the barrel, I would assume the bayonet holder. So I covered those in silver to give those more of a depth look and make sure the weapon's not all just one flat black. Then after that, I gone back through with the gunmetal that I didn't apply to the silver parts, and then I applied it to the silver parts to give that more of a dark silver, darker silver than that, brighter than the black gunmetal. So it gave that more depth and more dark tones and recessed shading and all that. Then after all that was said and done, I grabbed Vallejo White Air, put that on my palette, and then went through, put a little on a brush, and then coated the eye lenses in that white. Once the white had dried, I took Tesseract Glow and then added that to the eye lens, which gave a more LED look to the eye lenses. And then the final part, I went through with the black. I thinned it down as thin as I could almost get it and started trying to recess shade some shadows to where most of the red had come back and covered up most of the recesses, giving less depth, so I had to add more depth and all that. Then after kind of giving the model a panel line, that's what I attempted to try to do. I tried panel lining the Mini with a Mephiston red, and on the shoulder pauldron trims, colored them with Mephiston red to add more of a separation between the regular pauldron, or the surface of a pauldron, and then the trim of the pauldron. Okay, so that covers majority of what I did. This video was kind of on my own format of freeballing it. Hopefully it's not too long. I cut down most of the nonsense. Did like this video, and you think I'm doing a better job than I did last week, please let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, like, subscribe. It always helps. We are 8 people away from 100, and I would appreciate us to hit 100 before the end of the month. So that would be awesome. I do appreciate anybody that shows up and watches my videos all the way through. With all that being said, don't forget to wash them dirty sprues.